if you were a sports fan, you know that March is all about college hoops.
Yeah, but if you're a foodie, March is all about hitting some great restaurants for some really great meals.
And this is Chick2Chick. I grew up in Cumberland Valley. This is my whole area that I have been most of my life. And there's one thing that I have seen in progression has been really good food. Now, I'm not a big foodie or anything, but I do like to know that there are a lot of fun restaurants and places to go. And so it's really, really fun to go into some of our small towns and find some really great finds, like gem of a places where you can have some really good food.
Yeah, and normally we think of March Madness, college basketball, right?
Big
Well,
time.
in the Cumberland Valley, this March we have something called Meal Madness. What is that all about? Well, our guest is going to tell us all about it. Aaron Jumper is with the Cumberland Valley Visitors Bureau. Aaron, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. First of all, tell us about the Cumberland Valley Visitors Bureau, what you all do, and like, what does the Cumberland Valley encompass? What are we talking about?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So Cumberland Valley we're located South Central Pennsylvania. We represent Cumberland County. It's the fastest growing county in Pennsylvania and has been for the last decade. But we are the Visitors Bureau. We promote it as a destination. So for marketing, we want to make sure that we're bringing people to spend the night, spend the weekend. We also want to make sure that we're supporting our residents and making sure that hotels are filled, shops are people are shopping and dining, and so that it's a great place to live. But then also when visitors come to stay, that they have these great experiences when they're in town. So we're supporting our attractions and making sure that it's just a really great place, live, work, and stay. And we do a great job of highlighting those experiences through culinary trails and experiences like Meal Madness.
Well, you guys captured my attention because a few years ago, I'm just scrolling along on my social media and I see this Meal Madness and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And as the weeks go on, it just becomes more of like cutthroat, like, oh, voted for this one and then this one is out. And then, so explain what Meal Madness is about, because I think it's such a cool way to get your community involved with the businesses.
Yeah. So coming out of the pandemic in 2022, we were really looking for ways to promote our dining scene. Restaurants were having trouble, whether it was getting people back into dining regularly, or just having, challenges. So what can we do to bring awareness to, one, the amazing restaurants we have in Cumberland County, but also have a little bit fun and have some engagement on our social media. And, March with Meal Madness, we're tying it to March Madness, which is, an entire month full of competition and tournament play. Let's create a tournament with the 64 most popular restaurants in the county. So we went to TripAdvisor and our own website data, because every restaurant in Cumberland County has a listing on our website. And we took the top 64 from that and TripAdvisor data, and we compiled it to the top 64, which made our bracket, broke it down regionally from downtown Carlisle to Carlisle, Shippensburg area and Newville and Bowling Springs, and then the West Shore and Mechanicsburg. So we had 4 different regions with 16 great restaurants. It's a challenge when you go through it to come up with the 64 list, but then also, we're voting on it as well. And you get to some of these choices and you love both places, but it's a lot of fun to have that one winner come at the end.
Wait a minute here. So you've created brackets just like in college hoops.
Yeah.
You've got 4 different regions, 16, 16, and 16.
Yeah.
And then how do you go and whittle it down? Like, is that up to the customer to vote? How do you get it down to that final 4?
Yeah, it's just like, March Madness. You're gotta come through your region, and so you have the final 4 representing each of the regions that we designate. And then it's so cutthroat. I know for us, we feel it when we'll go talk to a restaurant and they're competing against their neighbor, and they're like, yeah, we're both trying to, fight for the same patrons to vote for us. But then, when one gets eliminated, they know that they're going to other place and they're saying, hey, can you get your patrons to vote for us? And it works. It's great to see our restaurant community kind of making sure that they're getting people out to vote, reminding their patrons, you got to vote for me, because, it's really been just a growing thing for us. For the last 3 years, we've had over 100,000 votes since we started this.
Wow.
And it just continues to grow. We're really excited for it.
And it goes the whole month of March, just like March Madness, right?
Yep. So we'll determine this year's winner on March 28th will be the final day. So almost every single day through March, there's going to be votes, beginning, with March 3rd, we're going to have every single day. There's multiple votes that you can go to our Instagram and start voting.
Well, here's what I love. A lot of times people think about the whole foodie concept, and it has to be like some really, interesting dish, right? Something that is, maybe, I don't know, from other countries and different things like that. Listen, all you got to do is go to the Hamilton and get yourself a hachi dog. A place like the Hamilton is in the race. I mean, I have gone there since I was a kid and I love it. But then you can go to another restaurant that's got like the best sea bass, right? So, talk to us about what people can understand about why it's such a great idea to visit these different restaurants, because they all have all these different flavors.
Yeah. And we've had people say, hey, maybe it should be the best place that has wings or the best pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
And, in a world that would be great, but we're trying to find the most popular restaurant. We even have this, we print or we allow for printable brackets. So your office could have an internal pool, and we have an internal pool in our office of who we think is going to win. I don't know if anybody's ever picked the winner completely, especially, the Hamilton. That caught us all by surprise. Well, we all love the Hamilton, and it
didn't catch me by surprise, Aaron. No. A hachi dog, fries with gravy, a Greek salad, and a cherry Coke. That's all I'm going to say.
She's good.
It's a Carlisle tradition.
It is a Carlisle tradition.
It is up against fine dining. It's against fast casual, and everyone has their preferences. So maybe you're thinking, if I'm voting for the best restaurant, I have to think of the place that I go to twice a year, and I dress my nicest. And that's not what it is. They want to vote for the place that they like the most. And that's why Hamilton wins. And it's why we've had 3 winners in 3 years, just because of different people voting for what they love at the time. And it's always super competitive, but it's really just creating awareness. When we hear from restaurants who, they have patrons come in and say, I didn't even know you were here, but I heard about you through Meal Madness. You went up against one of my favorite places, but I knew I had to come check you out. That's the kind of feedback we're getting from these restaurants. When coming out of the pandemic, it was like, we need support. And this was a really great way to do it. And we've had people who we've heard from restaurants that were not included, and they were very salty, rightfully so. So
good way to put it.
No pun intended. They were a little salty.
And so, but now we even include our social media following to kind of give us the last 4 in. So we'll determine the first 60, and then you can tell us who's the one restaurant we've missed to add it into them, to make that 64, because we know that, there are so many great places out there, and we wish we could have an NIT bracket full of restaurants that did not make the list. And we want to make sure that we're just trying to get as many as we can that are loved the most.
Well, for the record, she's up. You're into your hachi dog, right?
She just loves it.
She likes the hachi. Me, I'm all about chicken quesadillas and a nice bowl of Brussels sprouts. That's all I need.
Yeah, okay, I'm on that. I can do Brussels sprouts. I can do that too.
That's all I want. So I would be looking for a restaurant in my head that I want a great chicken quesadilla and I want Brussels sprouts.
Well, yeah. So, and the other thing is the atmosphere of some of these places. The atmosphere is so much different from restaurant to restaurant. I go back to Hamilton. I keep talking about them because I've just known them the longest. And you can hear
she's going to get a free hachi dog out of this. I know what she's doing.
I could anyway.
I'm on to her.
You hear them like yelling. They're not yelling at each other. They're just yelling. They're like
Greek.
Italian.
They're Greek.
So you have that. And then you have a place like, I know Valley Bistro won the one time. Totally different vibe, in there. And they have changed a little along the way. And then you've got like Black and Blue, right? That's another one who won. And that's just a real dining kind of experience. And so I think it's super fun for people to really take it in, not just for the food aspect of it, but for the vibe, right? The experience.
Yeah. And one time we used the brand that says, what's the best restaurant in Cumberland Valley? And again, that's so vague because you could be determining about who's going to make my meal the best or this specific dish. But when we're talking about vibe, we're talking about what's my favorite place? Where do I want to go? Maybe if it's you got your last meal ever, or you're going out, what's the one place in Cumberland County you're going to go to? So think about it that way of just, there are so many great places and it's hard to pick the best, but we want to ask for your favorite.
Well, and I like the fact too that we're not just talking about fine dining. It's fun to get dressed up and go out for a really nice meal, but you mentioned COVID. And things have really changed
Mhm.
since COVID. We've all become so much more casual. And I've got a joke I say to her all the time when she's like, "You want to do something?" I'm like, "I don't know. Are you hair and makeup
Right.
worthy?" Like,
Do I gotta get out of my
do
leggings
I-
for this one?
do I have to get dressed up? So the fact that I can go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
and I don't have to fix my hair and put on makeup and look presentable and just walk in with, yoga
Yeah.
pants. That's great because it's like a fair playing field.
Mhm.
Like the 5-star place is up against, the
Mhm.
hot dog
The
place.
diner.
Yeah, and it's a fair playing field. And that way I think you're appealing to
Mhm.
everybody's taste and everybody's pocketbook too, because not everybody has
Right.
the money
Mhm.
to go to a 5-star place or wants to. So, is there a place then where people can get this information? Your website, where that they know where to go and where these brackets are and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can go to cvmealmadness.com, and there we have the brackets. You can even get the printable brackets, so you can have an office poll, a family poll of who you think is going to win. We have ours, and then that will also have a link to our Instagram page. So beginning March 3rd on our Instagram stories is where you can begin voting. We'll start with the downtown Carlisle bracket that day, and you'll be able to vote. There's 8 voting blocks that day, and then throughout the first week, 8 votes per day. So cvmealmadness.com is where you have the brackets, kind of layout of what the whole competition is. And so it's really exciting. And that's where you can start it, and you get your brackets, print them, and have fun.
So, on March 28th,
Yes.
you're going to crown a winner.
Mm.
Yes.
Now, is this bragging rights? Do they get a big trophy like they get
Mm-hmm.
in college March Mat? Like, what do they get on March
They get
28th?
to cut down a neck from somewhere. What happens? I don't get
They
it.
have to be included in the future. We do have a trophy that we present to them that is, and it stays there year round. That that they're going to be the 2025 Meal Madness champion. We don't know what to expect. Every year with a new winner, we know that there are restaurants that we love and they never make it out of the first round, and we're always like, we thought that place was amazing. So it's always interesting to see who's going to be the one at the end. We've had great opportunities to promote them. We've had, I remember one year we had so much anticipation for the finals. I had people texting me, who's in the lead, who's going to win, and it was so close. Some of these, it's a hair, it's a vote one vote makes a difference. Literally, we've seen up until the last half an hour, a vote completely change just by a number of people changing or voting a certain way. But it's always,
Are you getting bribed by, like, is all of a sudden, are you showing up at the office with a plate of, like, where it came from? You're
Somebody's
like, oh,
delivering chicken quesadillas and going,
who's got like 65 hot dogs for you? Like,
I wish
getting any of that?
I wish maybe in the future I could bring that into this.
So it is so fun. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing all of this with people. And here's the thing, you don't have to be in the Cumberland Valley area in Cumberland County. How about if you're outside of the county? Come on in and see what it's all about. It's a lot of fun in here. Right?
Yeah. See who's doing well, then say, I need to go to that place and make a weekend out of it.
Yeah, we've got some great restaurants. Aaron, so much fun. Thanks for coming on the podcast and telling us all about Meal Madness.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Thanks, Aaron. That's all I need. That's all I need. I feel like Steve Martin in The Jerk. Remember? He's like, I'm leaving and this is all I need. I just need my glasses and this pen.
I tell you,
That's all I need. My chicken quesadillas and my Brussels sprouts. And I'm good.
I know.
I'm good.
And I got to tell you, you do have to follow this on social media because you will get invested. And I had so much fun. And because some of those last restaurants, I do know the people and I have such an affection, for who's running the business. It's what they're all
fun.
about. But it's just fun. So I encourage everybody to jump on the meal train for Meal Madness and get in on the fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we would like to encourage all of you to head on over to our YouTube channel, Chick2Chick USA. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. That way, every time we come out with a new podcast, you're going to get a little ding, little alert on your phone to know that we have a new podcast. So we'd love for you to like and subscribe. to our YouTube channel. It's Chick2Chick USA. Thanks for tuning in and good luck to all the restaurants.
That's right.
For Meal Madness.